Hello, friends. This is my second dream from my dream journal. Apparently, this dream was so scary that I woke up before this dream even ended. I call this dream Game Over. One day, me and my gang, who are my three cousin brothers and my three neighbor girls, we decided to go on an adventure to find something new. It started as a normal tour. We took a bus that brought us in front of a jungle. We hopped down with our stuff and the driver drove away. We were wondering what to do when one of us suggested to camp in the jungle. We all agreed. When we entered the jungle, we found out it only looked like a jungle from the outside, but inside it is a whole town. And in the middle, there is a big hotel. Even though we were pretty confused, we still went in the hotel and we saw wild animals like wild dogs, tigers, lions, hyenas, monkeys are roaming around everywhere like they were normal house animals. We thought maybe they were trained. We checked in the hotel and there were two other visitors like us. One looks like a giant, super tall with huge muscles, and his best friend, a short guy who looks as of a 6-year-old boy with a doll in his hand. They were both adults though. So sometime after checking in, we got bored and wanted to do something active. We asked the manager and he told us about a game, a live action game, kind of like Jumanji, and gave us an address where we could start our game. We went to the address and the other two went with us. While searching for the game, we found out the town was around 4 to 5 kilometers area, but no one lives there. All the other houses are empty, except the hotel and around it. When we reached the place, we saw there was a start light on the ground. As soon as we stepped on it, a warning flashed in front of us, saying, if you start this game, you can't escape before finishing it. If you win, your one wish will be granted, even if it is impossible. But if you lose, you have to pay the price. We didn't give much thought to it and started the game. In the first round, a bow and arrow appeared out of thin air and landed on my youngest cousin's hand, with instructions written in the air that one of us will go crazy and will try to murder the rest. If we want to live, we have to make use of this bow and arrow. It's either kill or get killed. Soon after the instruction disappeared, the short guy in our group went crazy and tried to murder us. After running quite some time, my cousin figured it out. He shot one arrow into the guy's eye. The guy bled to death. We escaped, but the giant guy was nowhere to be found. We understood what the instructions meant, but it was too late. For another thing, we have to find our tasks until the game ends. We noticed that one of my cousins was nowhere to be found. We separated to find him. Soon I noticed a wild monkey around us. He was there from the beginning of the second task. I also noticed some things in him that was in my cousin too. I was right. The monkey was my brother. The game changed him. I also understood that the wild animals we saw weren't actually animals. They were once citizens of this town. We were sad. When I thought of something, if one of us could win the game, we could wish for everything to go back to how it was. When we suddenly heard a sound, clang, clang, like as if a big piece of metal is being dragged on the road. Our eyes followed the sound, and we saw the giant guy walking towards us, the large axe in his right hand, dragging on the road. That's what is making the sound. In his other hand, there was his best friend, the short guy's head, chopped down on his neck. The arrow was still there in his one eye, and blood was dripping out of his eyes and neck. He was coming for revenge. or his best friend. We ran inside the house, panicking. When my other two cousins came back, we were trying to tell them to run, but they seemed not to understand what we were trying to say. The giant stopped behind them and swung his axe. We silently watched my cousin brothers' head flew off their body and a fountain of blood coming from their neck. We were so frightened and closed the gates. One of the girls couldn't move anymore, so she just turned her back and stuck herself to the gate. The giant swung his axe again, and it cut through the gates and her head. We could see her brain. The other two girls ran out of there. I don't know what happened to them. I panicked and fell down. Couldn't run. While I listened to him shoving his axe into the wall again and again till it broke through the wall. He threw his axe, aiming at me. I saw the axe coming closer and closer every millisecond until it hit straight into my eyes and it was pitch black. The dream ends here and I woke up with headache.